Nothing here, too. I think the bards just like to hang out around the Etherites in the major cities. I'd be more impressed if I didn't know that basically all of them are just using third-party programs to play the instruments. Welcome to the Drowning Wench. Sit wherever you like, mate. I'll be with you in I'm Badaron, alright. Who's asking? I heard as I've got a job for a capable adventurer, you say? Oh, you're bloody right. Just so you're fairly warned, though, this ain't no job for the faint of heart. Things are liable to get downright bleeding airy, but if you think you're still interested, let me know. I'll fill you in on the details. You want. We all know how it feels to have had one too many. That's why I'll not fault our patrons for much of what goes on at our tables, but is it too much to ask that they keep their belongings on their person when they leave? It wouldn't bother me so much if half of them didn't show up a week later ranting and raving as if their drunken heedlessness were somehow my fault. Take this impressive looking journal right here. As oft use as it seems to be, I've no doubt its owner is tearing up the town searching for his prized possession. Stranger he was, a swarthy Regadan who enjoyed his drink. Seemed to be getting on well with one of our regulars, Quintanane. Perhaps you could still catch with him and spare me the headache. I'd offer you a free drink, but last time I did that, Badaron docked my wages. And you are... Ah, this one. You're either a brave man or a fool, friend, to be wandering the streets of Limsa tonight, what with a slasher of Fisherman's Bottom on the loose. Not heard? There's a madman about. Why, it said he brandished his blade so long and sharp that they could gut a whale. I haven't seen any blood yet, but that hasn't stopped the rumors from sending shivers up spines in every alehouse in town. That you're still standing before me tells you don't scare as easily as the rest. Perhaps you could assist me with the investigation. To start with, you might want to look into that scream I just heard outside. Have I seen who? Look, just because I spend more nights at the Wench than in my own home doesn't mean I'm mates with every sod who comes stumbling through the doors. Wait a minute. That bloody book. Why didn't you say so sooner? The tight-arse bastard drank 20 flagons and promptly passed out, leaving yours truly to foot the bill. Said he was heading for Aleport. Aye, where else, the scurvy sop? And may a willing, he's still stranded at the ferry docks. Well, the gods know it won't help me get my guild back. Thank you for taking the time to help me out. Now, I'm sure you're busy, so I'll come straight to the point. Word has it some suspicious-looking buggers have been sneaking in and out of the Satasha Sea Grot, and I need a trustworthy sort to head north of Aleport and find out who they are and what they're up to. Don't sound like much, I know. But if it weren't so long as the Fishback's pet pirates paid us an unwelcome visit, and folk are feeling a bit nervous. If you would permit me, Master Badaron, I should be happy to elaborate. Well, well, if it ain't the Chief Yellowjacket himself. To what do we owe this rare honor, Commodore Raynor? Come to make sure me patrons are behaving, or just thirsty? Neither. In fact, I was informed that you had requested an adventurer to assist in my investigation, and I came to offer what information I could sift from recent reports. Over the course of the past moon, there have been several sightings of an unfamiliar vessel, off the coast of Ailport, in the vicinity of the Isles of Umbra. This information came to my attention no more than a few weeks after a squad of my own soldiers had completed a routine patrol of the region, the Satasha Sea Grot included. Their search revealed little, save that a family of Quarrels had taken up residence in the cave. Nothing to concern us, in short. In light of recent developments, however, it would seem wise to search Satasha again. With the Sa'agin testing our defenses daily, I am loath to assign the task to the limited forces at my disposal. Our line is stretched as it is. Thus, I sought the services of a competent adventurer to conduct an investigation in our stead. Any aid you can offer in this matter would be greatly appreciated. Then it is settled. Satasha is located in western Lenosha. For more detailed instructions on how to reach the place, I suggest you consult Vimelpa. She can be found at the ferry docks on the lower decks. You are the man. Good luck to ye, lad. Satasha? That's probably pirates. Smith training? What are you waiting for? That's him, the slasher. Apprehend him, toss him in the jail, and throw away the key. Or gut him and feed his lifeless body to the sharks for all I care. Just do something! Whoa, woe is me. Whatever did I do to deserve this cruel fate? For 6 months I saved every last gill of my husband's hard-earned wage, foregoing new shoes, a new purse, sometimes even food for our children, all in anticipation of this day. So special about today, you ask? Why, this day marks the arrival of a world-renowned aesthetician in Limsa. My endless patience and self-control were to be rewarded with a hair-raising transformation that would have every fashion-conscious Limidson oohing and awing in admiration. Or do you mean do like the trainings through the Smiths for the gear bonuses? Might be worthwhile. Instead, I find myself accosted by this lecherous lout. Speaking of which, weren't you going to do something about this? Go ahead, have your way with him. I doubt he has anything to say for himself. / doubt. That is the esthetician. Oh, the ignominy of it all. Of course you take her side. For shame. Is there not one sympathetic ear in this entire nation? An artiste of my renown should be welcomed with open arms. And a 21 cannon salute. Instead, I am branded a criminal, the tools of my trade, nay, the extensions of my very soul. Ripped unceremoniously from my person like barnacles from the side of a frigate. Not last long in my weakened state. No, even as we speak, the world around me grows dim. With my dying deaths, I speak unto you 3 names, 3 kind souls who may yet put right what has gone so rightfully wrong. Forge Master Hinansa of Naldik and Vimelis, Guildmaster Beaton of the Gridanian Carpenters Guild, and Severian of the Alchemist Guild in Ul'dah. There is an ounce of compassion in you. Seek them out, and tell them Yondelain sent you. When my soul is restored and my name rightfully cleared, all of Limsa, nay, the entire realm will sing your praises. For I, Yondelain, am none other than the ace, the ace. Yeah, I'll go back and do those things. Mostly because they actually do give you pretty good gear, and you really should do them. Not because I need to learn how to play the game or anything. You don't have to do them anymore. You used to have to a while ago. Yonderlane sent you? Let me guess. The Barney's foal's lost his tool. Pardon me. The appendages of his very soul. Again. And is thrashing and tossing like the end of days is nigh. The man brings it on himself. If he toned down the theatrics and went about his work like an earnest craftsman, I dared save himself these misunderstandings. No, I've not a whit of sympathy for the fool. You, however, have my pity indeed for having to play audience to his whinging. Any road, this should shut him up for a while. Tell him that if he loses these, I'll graft the next pair into his bloody hands. I could be mistaken, but I don't think it's actually required, just... It's useful. You get pretty good gear out of it. It's this quest right here. Well, several of them, actually, but... I don't think I've ever done them as a DPS, so maybe worth it. Well, well, the mantle of adventure does not drape so awkwardly from your shoulders as it once did. But while questing alone certainly brings its own rewards, you haven't truly adventured until you've delved into some darkened dungeon, stalwart companions at your side. Ancient ruins, echoing caverns, and all manner of deadly places lie hidden across the realm, and these are best conquered in the company of trustworthy allies. And such advice holds true for many a formidable foe that would crush a solitary adventurer. How one fights in a party, however, is often drastically different from how one fights alone. Thus did we construct the Hall of the Novice, where we endeavor to prepare you for those differences. The hall can be found just north of Aleport, in western Notia. Within its walls, we offer burgeoning heroes a bevy of training exercises. Step into the flames, my friend, and forge the skills you shall need for the morrow. Begin. Yeah. Avoid the enemy attacks. The most annoying part about this is how long the intro takes. Most of these legitimately take longer to wait for them to talk. Let us proceed directly to the briefing. For this exercise, you'll be learning avoidance. An enemy often tips his hand before a big attack, and your best defense is to skip out of the way. You pass the exercise once I decide you've learned this lesson. Everything is clear, I trust? Say the word when you're ready to begin. Let us proceed directly to the briefing. You're prepared to commence training, then? Yep. Let me in. And here we shall be learning the quintessential rule of MMOs. Watch your opponent carefully. When you see an attack coming, move out of the strike zone. You'll be facing me first. I won't hold back, so be quick on your feet. You're doing splendidly. Keep it up. My level is synced. I don't have twin snakes. Can I dodge super slow, incredibly obvious spells? I wonder. Let me move. Think you can dodge us both? Stay calm and watch for the signs. Pray, come and receive your reward. Stay alert, there's but a short time remaining. Bravo, thus concludes the exercise. Nicely done. Learning to avoid the obvious attacks is a skill all adventurers need. Those who insist on standing still won't long survive the profession, or the wrath of their healer. Speaking of survival, perfecting each of my lessons will earn you a piece of armor to aid you in your chosen role. Should you feel so inclined, repeat the same lesson with the other masters that they may reward you with equipment tailored towards their fields of expertise. Here's your prize for completing the exercise, but remember, the real prize is the lesson you've learned. Give me the armor anyway. Next. According to my records, you have yet to fully complete your training. You are under no obligation to finish the final course, of course, but there is much to gain and not to be lost in the attempt. Next. Let us proceed directly to the briefing. When it comes to your place in a party, you are the sharp end of the spear. Simply put, your role is to inflict as much damage as possible, while keeping your own skin intact. As such, you cannot just attack whichever enemy you please. If you struck a foe other than one controlled by your ally, then you risk becoming the target of deadly aggression. As you might have guessed, the purpose of this exercise is to teach cooperation. Your ally will hold the enemy's attention. It is your job to take the foe down. Work with your allies to defeat the enemy, and we can move on to the next training exercise. Everything is clear, I trust? Say the word when you are ready to begin. Prepared to commence training then? This training exercise is now underway. Attack the same foe as your ally to win the battle. That's the way, novice. I'll keep him occupied. You concentrate on bringing him down. Very good. Now here's a hint about enemy facing. Your opponent will have a harder time avoiding blows from the flanks or from behind. There are also certain techniques that perform better when executed from such positions. A lot of that's no longer in the game, actually. Bravo! Thus concludes this exercise. Pray come and receive your reward. Did you mark the sturdiness of your ally taking the enemy hits? Coordinating efforts with a heavily armored defender will allow you to fight to your fullest. Here's your prize for completing your exercise. But remember, the real prize is the lesson you've learned. Next. According to my records, blah 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 blah. Same thing they said before. I think there's maybe 5 of these in total. Let us proceed directly to the briefing. For this exercise, you'll be fighting multiple opponents. The key to victory is coordination with your comrades. Each foe will fall and all the swifter under a focused assault. Work with your allies to defeat the enemy, and we can move on to the next training exercise. Everything is clear, I trust? Say the word when you're ready to begin. Put me in, coach. The training exercise is now underway. Start the fight with the staff wearer. Such foes are often the most dangerous, but the least robust. Be sure to attack the same enemy as your ally. Strike the wrong foe 5 times, and you'll fail this exercise. That's the way, novice. Once this one down, we'll move on to the fist fighter. There's yet another one yet standing. Don't lose your focus. Down you go. He's almost done for. Grind him into the dust. Bravo. And thus concludes the exercise. Pray come and receive your reward. Coordination is the key to conquering foes swiftly and safely. Work well with your allies, and the efficacy of your armor need not be tested. Here's your prize for completing the exercise. But remember, the real prize is the lesson you've learned. Where's my gear? Blah blah blah, you're not done, there's more to do. In we go. Let us proceed directly to the briefing. Do you remember the lesson where I had you evading enemy attacks? This exercise will put that training to the test. You must needs plan your strikes around some fancy footwork. Work with your allies to defeat the enemy, and we can move on to the next training exercise. Everything is clear, I trust? Say the word when you're ready to begin. Blah 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 blah. This training exercise is now underway. Engage the axe wielder, but keep an eye out for counterattacks. If you allow yourself to be hit 5 times, we will start this exercise again from the beginning. Well done. Slippery as an eel, novice. Not bad, eh? Try to dodge this. Victory is within reach. Be on your guard to the very last. Bravo, and thus concludes the exercise. Pray come and receive your reward. Though it may sometimes be a frustrating dance, it is better to dodge than be sprawled in the dust. Here's your prize for completing the exercise, but remember, the real prize is the lesson you learned. Oh, right, they got rid of belts. That's why that quest didn't give anything. One more chest piece. According to my records, you have yet to fully complete your training. Blah, 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 blah. Let us proceed directly to the briefing. This exercise will teach you how to deal with enemy reinforcements. As the battle progresses, new foes will appear on the field. These sudden arrivals will target your weakest comrade, so you must be quick to eliminate them. Work with your allies to defeat the enemy, and we can move on to the next training exercise. Everything is clear, I trust? Say the word when you are ready to begin. Yep, I'm ready. Let's go. This Training exercise is now underway. Keep an eye peeled for reinforcements, novice. Another new enemy on the field. Engage this foe. Here comes another. Make short work of this skirmisher. Very good. Now see the battle to its end. Bravo, and thus concludes the exercise. Pray come and receive your reward. This does seem a little more streamlined than it used to. Fine performance. The party is doomed without a source of restoration. When reinforcements threaten your healer, it is time to spring into action. Here's your prize for completing the exercise, but remember, the real prize is the lesson you've learned. Another one? Let me guess, putting it all together. Exercise 6. Let us proceed directly to the briefing. In this exercise, you'll learn to manipulate the battlefield. During the battle, enemies will pour forth from the rear gate. New foes will continue to flood in while this portal remains open. You must operate the lever that closes the gate, or your party will be overwhelmed. Work with your allies to defeat the enemy, and we can move on to the next training exercise. I thought this was the last one. Come on, how many of these are there? Training exercise is now underway. Engage the enemy, but be wary of the gate. The gate is opened. Ignore the reinforcements for now and operate the lever. Well done. The flood of enemies has ceased. Now mop up the foes remaining. Bravo, and thus concludes the exercise. Pray come and receive your reward. It is imperative to recognize when a battle is turned against you. Act quickly to neutralize an enemy's advantage, or be prepared to suffer through a difficult fight. Here is your prize for completing the exercise, but remember, the real prize is the lesson you've learned. Is that... is there more? That's... full brand news. Oh, probably a headpiece one left to do. Still not done. How many of these are there? This might be the last one. You've arrived at the mountain's peak, the final exercise. As a culmination of your training, all the skills you've acquired will be put to the test. Put your lessons into practice and you'll do just fine. Say the word when you're ready to begin. Yes, I'm ready. Can we do this? This training exercise is now underway. Let's begin with the basics, shall we? Pay attention to the enemies facing and stay out of harm's way. Why am I supposed to 1v1 this? That's never how you actually do that in a dungeon. You just let the tank pick it up and then deal with it. Another jackal. Spare your healer its jaws. Like, seriously, that's not how you do this at all. Now, face multiple foes. Remember to coordinate efforts with your allies. Also, attacking them in any kind of order isn't really important, because all tanks do AoE, and if the tank really cared about the order you killed them in, they would tag them. And now for the last challenge. This one hits hard, so be quick on your feet. Like, I care more about the training exercises if they actually train properly. But like, none of this is how you actually do things in dungeons. I mean, first of all, who only kills one enemy at a time? We wall the wall, man. Yes, that's how it works. You pull the entire dungeon. We done? Blah, blah, blah. You've proven yourself a novice no longer. Pray accept this prize to commemorate your achievement. Oh, it's a ring. It's not the helm. It's a ring.